For ancient Egyptians, dying was only the first step in a very long, very physical journey. To successfully navigate the afterlife, the soul required the original body to remain perfectly intact. But the moment a person stops breathing, their own biology turns against them. The enzymes that once repaired human cells immediately switch gears and begin breaking them down. Simultaneously, the bacteria living inside the stomach and intestines multiply rapidly. They breach the digestive tract, turning the entire abdomen into an active zone of rapid decay. This triggered a strict biological countdown. If the soft tissues dissolved, the physical anchor for the soul was gone forever. To survive eternity, elite priests had to step in. They operated as highly specialized engineers, tasked with forcefully halting the natural decomposition process. Their first target was the brain, which they considered entirely useless. Using a long metal hook inserted through the nostrils, they violently broke apart the soft tissue, liquefied it, and drained it out before filling the empty skull with protective tree resin. Next, they had to remove the body's primary rot zones: the stomach, intestines, liver, and lungs. The priests made a precise incision on the left side of the torso and extracted these wet, bacteria-rich organs by hand. These vital organs weren't thrown away. After being meticulously cleaned, they were sealed inside 4 specific canopic jars, each carved with the head of a protective deity to keep the contents safe. By systematically amputating the wet tissues of the gut and the respiratory system, the priests successfully disarmed the body's internal biological time bombs. Yet there was exactly one major internal organ the priests purposefully left untouched. This ancient papyrus shows the afterlife central test. The deceased's heart weighed on the scale against the feather of truth. If lighter, it proved a righteous life. That soul could then cross into paradise, the field of reeds. Because the heart was incredibly vulnerable during the physical mummification process, priests sometimes placed a carved stone scarab beetle over the chest as a protective amulet, or even as a direct substitute. The heart bypassed the standard medical evacuation because it held the spiritual data required to pass the final judgment. With the cavity empty, the body still contained too much moisture to survive. To solve this, the priests utilized a naturally occurring salt called natron. They completely packed the empty torso and covered the entire exterior with this chemical. Over the next 35 days, the natron aggressively absorbed the remaining water from the tissues. What emerged from the salt was a heavily desiccated shell. The skin was completely dried out, pulling tight over the bone like tough, textured leather. This brutal chemical dehydration was the ultimate biological hack. By depriving the remaining bacteria of the water they needed to reproduce, the priests permanently stopped the clock on cellular decay. To stabilize this dry husk, they massaged the leathery skin with cedar oil to restore some flexibility, and coated the entire body in fragrant tree resin to seal out ambient moisture and mask any lingering odors. The body was then encased in physical armor. Priests tightly wound up to 375 yards of fine linen strips around the corpse in precise, overlapping geometric layers. This fully armored package was locked inside a series of decorated coffins, ultimately resting within a heavy stone sarcophagus deep inside a subterranean tomb. The surrounding chamber was packed with vast supplies of dried fish, fresh grain, and intricate treasures, ensuring the restored body had the fuel it needed for eternity. Through a rigorous sequence of anatomical extraction and chemical desiccation, the priests successfully engineered human time capsules designed to outlast nature itself.